With Valentine's just around the corner, I thought it would be a lot of fun to jump into some super fun Valentine's crafty projects today. Hello friends, welcome back. It is so good to see you. I hope this finds you all well and happy. Today we are going to be jumping into all things Valentine's, and I'm really looking forward to doing these projects together and just hanging out and spending some time together. I will be honest, I did struggle a little bit with these ones because Valentine's is not actually my favorite holiday to craft for or even decorate for. I don't really do anything for decorations as far as Valentine's go, but I did finally come up with some great projects that I'm super excited to share with y'all. So go grab your favorite beverage, go grab your craft supplies, and let's get to crafting. Oh, I did want to tell you guys just one more thing. Be sure to hang out with me until the very end of this video because I have a super fun special announcement to share with y'all. We are going to kick off our project today by making some fun wooden jumbo tags. Okay, y'all, so I did cut out these wooden tags myself. However, you can find a lot of these wooden accent pieces at Hobby Lobby in their woodcraft section. I'm also going to be using some scrapbook paper and some vinyl, and I'm going to stain these today using this Waverly antiquing glaze that I've watered down just a little bit. So I'm going to start off by staining my big jumbo tag with this antiquing glaze, and I'm going to stain all of the edges and the back. I'm going to stain the back completely, but I only stain the front part way because I am going to be adding some scrapbook accent paper to the front of this tag. After we finish staining our big jumbo tag, we're going to go ahead and stain our accent hearts here. And I am just going to go ahead and use this same antiquing glaze on these. I'm going to cover them completely, front and back, and all of the edges. However, you can use any color you so desire here. This is your project to customize. I'm just giving you some inspiration. Hopefully, anyway, that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and finish staining all of my hearts, and then we will move on to our next step. So we're also going to be using some of this little trim, and I found this trim at Home Depot and just cut it to size, and you'll see what we're going to use this for in a little bit. It's going to be so cute. So if you guys are impatient like me, I don't like to wait for my paint to dry, so I'm just using my heat tool here to dry my paint as quickly as I possibly can. Then we're going to move on to cutting out some accent paper to cover the front of our big jumbo tag. And I do cut this just a little bit smaller than my block, my tag, my wood tag, so that I can have some of the wood showing on the edges. And here I'm just going to go ahead and put that paper up against my wood block so I can mark where that hole is, and then I'm just going to cut it out with some itty bitty scissors. I first punched a hole in this and then just went through that hole to cut this out so that it would, you know, sort of match up to that tag, because we're going to cover this with this cute little black washer that I found at Oh, probably Home Depot. I'm not exactly sure. But now we're going to go ahead and glue this on, and I'm just using my favorite all-purpose Aleene's glue here. And I do recommend that you use a good all-purpose glue that dries clear. So I'm just gluing this accent paper to our jumbo tag, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut out some accent paper for the heart. And this paper that I'm using, I also found at Hobby Lobby, and it is this really neat textured paper. Then I'm going to use this fun lettered, like it's like a handwritten letter that I'm going to accent this part with. Now we are going to go ahead and glue our scrapbook pieces to our wood pieces. I really love this paper here. There's just something so nostalgic about this like handwritten letter paper. And this one is a lot of fun too. It's a very textured paper. It almost feels like cloth. Oops, and yep, I dropped this. Sometimes I am very clumsy when I craft. Okay, so now that we have our papers glued onto our little wood pieces, I'm going to just sand around the edges, and that way if we have any overlapping paper, it just kind of sands it back to the wood piece and just kind of makes it all look like it's one and like it was actually just meant to be that way. Then I'm going to go ahead and glue on our washer to this tag. And then I'm going to take a very, very dry stippling brush with some black chalk paint and just kind of stipple gently around all of the edges of this just to give it a little texture and kind of give it that worn, antique-y, nostalgic look. All right, now we're going to go ahead and glue this accent heart to the front of our big jumbo tag, and I'm kind of gluing it at the bottom third of the tag in the center. Just kind of getting it positioned the best I can in the center, and then we will put our smaller heart on top of the larger heart. I just love how this looks. I love the dimension and the depth. Then I cut out this cute little lettering on my silhouette cutter, and I'm just using some permanent white vinyl here to make these cute little letters that says love you always. And this is that trim piece that we did, and it kind of reminded me of one of those old-fashioned tags. Remember those old-fashioned tag makers that had like the black vinyl stuff and it kind of almost imprinted the lettering in? That's kind of what this reminded me of, and I just thought it was so cute. I thought it made a cute little accent piece for our jumbo tag. Then I'm going to go ahead and add some ribbon to the top of this, just some jute ribbon to the top of this, and I think that's just going to finish this one off. I really, really think this turned out cute, y'all. I love the simplicity of it. It's just kind of sweet and simply romantic. Okay, so I made several of these tags, each with their own individuality, so I thought I would just show you guys how each of them turned out. I didn't do this with you in real time because it would have, taken us forever and a day, but here are just some different ways that you could style and decorate these wood tags. Okay, so next we are going to make this cute little bingo card, and I went ahead and did a lot of this ahead of time so that you guys didn't have to watch me painstakingly lay down each and every one of these individual pieces of vinyl, but I cut out all of this on my vinyl cutter and then just adhered it to this 10 by 10 piece of wood that I cut out in the wood shop. And now I'm going to go ahead and stain over all of the top of this because I did it kind of like in that reverse stencil method. So I'm going to stain over the top of this with some stain that I made myself just by using some black chalk paint that I watered down. And I do go over this a couple of times so that my stain will be pretty dark, but I make sure that each coat is really thoroughly dry, or each layer is thoroughly dry before I lay down the next coat. Okay, so while that last coat of paint on my bingo card is drying, we're going to go ahead and paint our accent pieces, and I am just using some white chalk paint here to paint all of these. And again, I'm just using some of that trim board that I found at Home Depot that I just cut to length, and then I found these little hearts at Hobby Lobby, and I just put some vinyl lettering down on these because I'm going to do, again, that reverse stenciling, and so that I paint over them with this white paint, and when we lift up the vinyl, that natural wood will be what shows through to reveal our lettering. So here you can kind of see what I'm talking about. After our paint is dried on the bingo card, I'm starting to lift up my vinyl, and it is revealing that really cool natural wood underneath. And I don't know, y'all, there is just something so satisfying about peeling back this vinyl after everything is dried. And I will say that I did get some bleed through here, and it's probably because I watered down my chalk paint just a little too much. But at the end of the day, I kind of decided I really liked that bleed through because it just kind of gave this bingo card just that really old, found, aged look. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish peeling up all of the vinyl on this, and then we will move on to the next step. The vinyl was a little bit fiddly to peel up on these teeny weeny little hearts, but I did get it done and they came out very cute. You can definitely see the letters. They're very defined. So once I've done that, I'm just going to go over everything a little bit with my sanding block here, just to kind of give it a little bit of that extra worn look on all the edges of our accent pieces. So this is what it's going to look like, and I'm just going to take a little coffee break here for a split second. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and glue on all of our accent pieces to this, and again, I'm just using my favorite Gorilla hot glue and my favorite hot glue gun. This hot glue gun is a Ryobi hot glue gun. I ordered a new one, y'all, because it was white and I thought it would be prettier to have, but it came and then it wouldn't even hold a charge. So I'm back to using my fun little bright green Ryobi one, which works amazing. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue gluing all of these little pieces into place. After I get all of our accent pieces glued into place, I'm going to take this out to the shop and drill some holes into the top of this so that we can run this jute through them to make a hanger for our bingo card. So I'm just using some of this wide jute. I got this at Walmart. I'm just going to get it to the length that I want it and then tie some big knots in it to hold it into place. And then I think our bingo card is going to be pretty well finished. I love how this turned out, y'all. I don't know, there's just something about this one that speaks to my heart. I just think it's so cute and whimsical. Oh, and I am cutting off the trim ends of the jute. And here we have it, a cute little Valentine's bingo card. This project is going to be so cute. We are going to make like a little envelope box of sorts. It's going to be kind of three-dimensional. So I did cut all of this out on my scroll saw, and I will have the pattern for this entire project linked in my description box for y'all so you can have it as a free printable. So I cut this out on some really thin plywood, and then again, I'm using these trim pieces. These trim pieces really came in handy for a lot of the projects that we are making today. And these are going to be like the sides and the bottom of our little envelope here. I'm also going to mark them so that I know which was my bottom and which was my sides to make sure that I don't, get my measurements all messed up. So I'm going to go ahead and start by gluing our first side piece down, and I'm going to use a combination of wood glue and some hot glue here. And I use the hot glue just to give me some instant hold so I can just keep building as the wood glue sets up. So I'm going to put our first piece into place here, just like so, and then I will get this second side piece placed, and then we will place our bottom piece. And I do give this wood glue, I don't know, about 15 minutes to set up in between each step here. But I didn't wait too long because I am kind of impatient. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put the bottom piece into place here on the bottom. And then we will put the top piece of our envelope on the top. And then I will just give it a little bit of sanding to just kind of clean up any of our rough edges. After letting the wood glue set up on this for about a half an hour, just to make sure that everything was securely held into place, I do paint this. I move on to painting this, and I'm just using some white chalk paint here, and I did put 2 coats of paint on this. And I also wanted to show you guys that this is what we're going to do. We're going to stuff it with these cute little accent pieces, and I'm also painting all of these accent pieces. I paint 2 of them with some white chalk paint, and 1 of them I paint black because we're going to kind of put some white vinyl lettering on this to give it that like chalkboard look. After I got all of our little embellishment pieces painted, I felt like they were just a little bit plain. So I decided to go ahead and add some scrapbook paper to the fronts of these just to give them a little extra something. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this onto the heart and to the other little white tag, and then we will move on to our next step. So I've gone ahead and cut out this cute little lettering for our embellishment tags, and I am just using some Oracle permanent white vinyl here, and I have a silhouette cutter. That's what I cut these out on. And if you guys are interested in like an actual full tutorial on using the silhouette cutter, let me know in the comments below and I'll be happy to do that for you. So I'm going to go ahead and use my transfer tape to lift up my lettering from the vinyl backing, and then we will go ahead and adhere this to our tag. And this particular set of lettering is going to go on our big tag that says "You are my everything," and this is going to be the one that kind of sticks up a little bit out of our envelope. And on that smaller one, I'm using some Oracle gold permanent vinyl because I just thought that gold would give it a little extra sparkle. When I was lifting up my transfer tape here, my little R didn't want to stick, so I just went back over it with my little spatula thingy here, and it just helped that R stick right down, and then everything is easy peasy. And then here, I went ahead and stuck that little tag in position in the envelope so that I would know exactly where to position the vinyl lettering because I didn't want to get it too low on the tag. So after we get all of our lettering placed on our tag, we are going to do some fun little faux stitch work on this envelope, and I am just going to use a black Sharpie here to do this. So I'm just going to kind of go around all of the edges and make just some little dotted lines, so to speak, to make it look like stitching, I guess you could say. So I'm going to go ahead and do that around this entire envelope. And for this last section, I was a little nervous to freehand this, so I did get my ruler out and draw myself a cheat line so that I would be able to get it really straight on here, because I definitely did not want to mess this up. It's just looking too cute at this point for me to have messed it up. So go ahead and make yourselves a cheater line. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue our little embellishment pieces inside the envelope, and you can position these in the envelope however you want. This is just how I went ahead and did it, and I left that little "You Are My Everything" sticking up pretty high so that our tiny tag wouldn't cover up any of the lettering. Now that we've got all of our cute little embellishments tucked snugly into our envelope, I'm going to go ahead and just wrap a little bit of jute around this just to give it a little extra pizzazz and make it just kind of look like, you know, that cute little whimsical gift. And I'm going to tie a little bow, and then I just did decide to add this extra little heart embellishment. I got these little hearts at Hobby Lobby, and I just covered it with a piece of scrapbook paper. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a little jute through the top of this tag to just kind of make it look complete, give it a little trim, and y'all, here we have this darling little envelope. I think this came out so cute. What do you guys think of this? This next project is just going to be a quick, simple project. We're going to make a little goodie tin, and I found this darling little tin can at Hobby Lobby. And I didn't really like the light colored wood on the lid, so I sanded this lid down really well, and then I'm going to go over it with my Antiquing Glaze by Waverly, is that right? Yeah, Waverly. And I go over this just to make it darken, and then I'm going to dab some black chalk paint around the edges with my stippling brush. I do this with a dry brush just to give it a little dimension and that just kind of old antique-y look. Then I found these cute little pulls at Hobby Lobby also, and these were also in the wood section. So I pre-drilled some holes here, found kind of the center on my lid. I just kind of eyeballed this and pre-drilled the holes, and then I'm going to screw these in, and these screws are so tiny, y'all, and I've got clumsy fingers sometimes, so this was a little fiddly. I did struggle with this a little bit, but I finally got it screwed in, and it just added so much to the top of this lid. I love how this turned out. So I went ahead and just painted this tin can ahead of time, because I know you guys probably get sick of watching me paint. I mean, it's the same process. I just painted it. After I got it painted, I took my little sanding block to it and just kind of roughed up, and just in a few places to just kind of give it that found worn look. Then I'm going to go ahead and paint one of these cute little heart embellishments. I also found these at Hobby Lobby, and I'm painting it with this like really deep burgundy paint. I made this paint color myself. It is a combination of fire engine red and burnt sienna to just deepen the red a little bit so it's more deep, and it kind of matches this vinyl that I found. I also cut these letters out on my vinyl so that we could just glue these to this cute little tag that I painted ahead of time also. And this just says, "I'm sweet on you," because we're gonna fill this tin can with some fun little chocolates. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just add some jute to this just to give this can a little extra something so it doesn't look quite as plain. And I just wrap it around the tin can a couple of times and then tie it in a really tight knot so that that jute doesn't go anywhere. And then to this, I'm going to also add our cute little burgundy wooden heart for just a little embellishment, and I'm gonna tie that in a knot. And then to the lid, I'm going to add our "I'm sweet on you" tag. And then y'all, I just think this tin can is going to be so cute. This would make the perfect gift for just if you want a super simple handmade gift to give to someone. It would just be the perfect gift for your someone extra special. So here we have our tin can all complete. Now let's fill it up with the goodies. And I am using these Lindor chocolates because, yeah, it's the best chocolate ever, right? And just like that, our little tin can is complete. How darling is this? So simple, but yet so sweet. Our last project is going to also be a quick and simple project. We are just going to be using one of these signs that I actually found at Dollar Tree, and I just cut the little arrow thing off the end of it because it was like one of those arrow signs. But Dollar Tree has these little rectangular signs all the time. I see them all the time there. And I'm going to be using some of that trim from Home Depot that I cut down to just frame this out, and I just cut it to all the appropriate sizes. I'm going to go ahead and paint this black, and I'm using some black chalk paint here because I do actually want this to be a chalkboard of sorts. After I get it painted and the paint has completely dried, I do flip it and paint the backside and all of the edges as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and stain our little trim pieces with that Waverly Antiquing glaze. And once those are completely set up and dry, we will move on to our next step. I did also want to just mention to you guys that you do not have to be discouraged to create any of these just because you don't have power tools. You can invest in a cute little miter box and a miter saw, which I will link in the description box for y'all, and that will open up so many opportunities for you to do some of these projects if you don't have power tools. So moving on, I again cut out these letters on my cutter, and again, if you guys don't have a vinyl cutter, you can buy all of these fabulous letter stickers at like Hobby Lobby and Michael's in the scrapbook section to do this with. You don't have to have a vinyl cutter to do this. So I cut these out, and there I had a little issue. My N didn't want to stick and my T didn't want to stick either, so I kind of lost those. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and just attach the vinyl lettering to this. And again, if you don't have access to a cutter, just get some letter stickers from any of the scrapbook sections at like Hobby Lobby or Michael's. After my lettering is down, I'm going to go ahead and hot glue the trim on, and I'm going to glue the top pieces and the top piece and the bottom piece first before putting in the middle sections, just in case I didn't get them cut exactly right. Then I can trim them up if I need to. So I'm just using some Gorilla hot glue to attach our frame pieces to create the frame around this little board. But if you do not have a hot glue gun, you can use wood glue or Aleene's all-purpose glue, or just about any glue that will, adhere wood to wood. And after I get the frame pieces all in place, I'm going to attach some scrapbook paper to this little heart to just add a little extra embellishment to our cute little sign here. And I found this really fun cording at Walmart. It came in a 3-pack of 3 different colors, and I just thought it was so cute. So I'm going to use this to tie the cute little key to our heart. I'm going to add a little bow to it, and then we will attach this to that upper left corner of our sign. And I think that will pretty much complete this project. I think this just turned out so cute. It's so simple and so sweet, and this one worked up really fast. So if you need a fast project, this might be the one for you. Well, so as much as I struggled coming up with fun ideas for our projects today, I would say these all came out pretty darn cute. What do you guys think? I'm thinking that my favorite is probably the cute little bingo card that we made. I had a lot of fun with that one, and I don't know, there was just something cute and whimsical about it that just kind of just made me feel happy. So what was you guys' favorite project from today? Thank you guys so much for sticking with me to the very end of this video. I appreciate you guys so much, and it just means so much to me that you take time out of your day to hang out with me. It's always so much fun to share our craft projects together, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed this week's projects. If you did, you need to leave me a comment down below because I'm going to do a little giveaway, and I'm going to give away 3 of the projects that we made today. Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. You guys can choose number 1, 2, or 3, and I'm going to show you those in just a minute. Leave your comment down below with which one you liked the best, number 1, 2, or 3, and if I draw your name, then I will send you your favorite from the 3. Alrighty, here's number 1. Can you guys see that? Okay, so this is the number 1. If this one is your favorite, comment below with number 1 for the cute little February 14th tag, or comment below number 2 for this cute whimsical, I don't even know what we want to title this one, but we'll just call this one number 2. And I really love this one. Number 3, the cute little stuffed envelope. That's what we'll call this one. So this one is number 3. So comment down below with which one of these is your favorite, and then I'm going to do a random drawing. If I choose your name, you will get the one that you chose as your favorite. Thanks for hanging out today, guys. It was so much fun. I really enjoyed our time together. Next week, we are going to be finishing up our crochet projects that we started together last week. So get ready for that because it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to show you guys how to do some final steps and how to connect our crochet pieces together to make them into our fun pillow. So I will see you guys all next week. Until then, y'all take care, and I will see you soon. Bye.